Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mike from Rocket City Astro. Today, we are going to stare into the sun.
Stupidest thing you've ever done.
Stupidest thing I ever done. I looked at the sun with my own eyes for 40 minutes because I was inspired by this other guy who's been looking at the sun for 6 years and he says has improved his vision. So I do it. An hour later, my eyes are blurry and they're hurting.
They're hurting. What's the most big-brained move you've ever made?
I've been looking at the sun, staring at the sun, super sun gazing, I call it, for the last 5 years. It's amazing. It's like, look what it does for plants. The sun is where all the nutrition and energy in the world first comes from. And if you get to the point that you can take it in your eyes to your pineal gland, you produce vitamin A, vitamin D, melatonin, melanin. And like everyone thinks that it makes you blind. It doesn't make you blind. It doesn't even hurt. Like I teach people how to do it in 5 minutes. Am I smiling? Yeah. Because it feels amazing.
Stellarium is going to be controlling our mount. We're going to use SharpCap for capturing our video. And of course I have an Ioptron mount, so we're using an Ioptron Commander to connect to the mount. So let's get started here. First thing I'm going to do is open up Stellarium. I'm going to connect my telescope. Alright, telescope connected. We are pointing in towards Polaris at the home position. This is the sun, and this red box represents our field of view that we'll be seeing today. So I'll select that object, hit current object, and slew. My telescope warns me, says yeah, I'm pointing directly at the sun. And then it slews. So we're shooting with a ASI 533 camera, colored camera. It is cooled. Thermal controls. Cooler is on. Negative 15 degrees is set at. Okay, so while that's cooling down, we can go ahead and start looking. Live view. Zoom. Adjust the exposure. my saturation. Supply flask, we don't need any of that. There we go. That's what was messing me up. Put that back at the right gain. Be a little too bright. 38.5. Do 25 milliseconds. Okay, now that we have our video file from SharpCat, we're gonna do some quick processing to this. I'm gonna drag it and drop it right into Pip here, and this is basically this software is going to change our format for us a little bit. We're going to change this into an AVI. We're going to do some stabilization and cropping. So once we got that there, we do our input options, make sure everything's okay here. That looks fine. Processing options, okay, make sure that's not enabled. Enable cropping. Actually, I gotta go back here. Solar and lunar full disk. How big is that? 24. Let's do 2600. 2600. So that looks good. Output options, AVI, div uncompressed. Okay, this is gonna take a while. I'm gonna speed the video up. Okay, here we are. We're back after 30 minutes of pip processing. We're going to go ahead and start. We're going to throw this into auto stackered. While that was processing, I went ahead and took a break and made me some homemade birria tacos. So when pip is done, it will save that in a folder within the in the same location as the original file. The original file is 79 gigabytes. For those of you who are thinking of getting into planetary and solar and lunar astrophotography, just remember that these video files are huge. They take up a ton of space on your hard drive. So make sure you get enough storage. And that's going to vary depending on what camera you have, what resolution the camera is, and everything like that. So yeah, we're just going to drop that right into auto stackered. I pretty much leave settings alone on this. We're doing planet, not a surface. If we had like maybe a quarter of the sun, then we would do a surface alignment or stabilization. So we're going to click analyze and let this analyze the frames. This will take a while, so I'm going to cut this video and make this shorter for you guys. Okay, we're back. that was really quick. So the next step after we've analyzed the frames is basically 1, 2, and then 3. But this is darked out. It won't let us do that yet until we come over here and draw our alignment points. So you can pick different size of alignment points, and then hit place AP grid. We'll place that down. 1092. I like to have, that's a good number of alignment points to have. It's about 1,000. Remember that, the more of them you have, the longer this will take to process. So if we clear that out and make them bigger, we will have less alignment points to deal with. However, this may not produce as good of an image. So I'm going to clear those. We're going to go with 104. It's going to be different for everybody depending on your resolution of your camera and everything like that. So this is the quality graph over here showing me, the average quality of each frame. It looks like I'm going to take about everything from 50% and above. So that's close to 50% of the frames. You could also do this by number of frames or percentage of frames. I'm just going to do it by percent. And then we're going to save this as a TIFF file. I do leave RGB aligned. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that off because we don't really need to mess with the color palette because we used an HA filter. If I was doing the moon shot, I would probably use this RGB alignment. And of course, I do turn drizzle on 1.5 times, and we're going to stack that. Okay, so this is going to take about 10 minutes. Okay, our processing is done. We got two options to go from here. After the processing's done, it will be stored in a file in the same directory as the original video. So this is the file you'll end up with. So from here we can go on to another piece of software called Registax. I use that software to do some sharpening, or you could just go directly into whatever your favorite photo editing software is and you know, start processing on it. I ended up going both routes because I wanted to compare the difference between using wavelets and Registack program compared to the sharpening that you get in something like GIMP. So this is the image after I've processed it. I've already went through the process. You can see the first thing I did is switch it to mono. Then I used the unsharpened mask that's built into GIMP here. So that turned out all okay. I mean, it's all right, you know. But when you compare it to Registack, the sharpening is much better. This is a huge difference, and as you can see on the left here, this is everything I did. There is no sharpening here. I did not use any sharpening algorithms on this. So yeah, that's quite a bit better. Let's zoom in and actually look at the details. There is one issue I ended up with on Registax, and that is the very edge of my sun is got these little artifacts from chopping them, but that's because I think Registack processes the image in little bits instead of the whole image at once, like your photo editing software will do. So let's zoom in on the same region here. And as you can see, there's a ton of difference in here. This, you know, the black hole right there is it's got a very sharp edge on it. It's almost like that part is over sharpened. But this other stuff on the outside of it is quite a bit softer than this image. So we get a lot more contrast between the two colors here. You can see more of this lighter details on the surface. So yeah, it's worth spending the time to play around with Registax and learn how to use it, because it is extremely powerful when it comes to sharpening up planetary, solar, or lunar images. That is a huge difference. So this is the image that I ended up with and saved. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see the future.